Let's do this. Hello. How's everybody doing? How is everybody doing on this fine Tuesday evening? Hello, Mark. Hello, Jeremy. Hello, Beastie and Mr. Frost. How is everybody doing? Let me know if the mic is loud enough or not loud enough. Settings should usually be pretty much the same from stream to stream, but you never know. You never know. So, full disclosure, this is not the 5x5 in the pipe. I know exactly where that's from. Maniculture. Audio sounds good. Awesome. 5x5 in the pipe. Man, so many of those lines memorized. Good times. Good times. StarCraft. Were you a big StarCraft player? So, full disclosure, I've already been working on this some. I was trying to see what could and couldn't be done because there's a lot of like the station stuff, like the docking, that's still very much a work in progress, and I was just really trying to see if anything could be done. So this is by no means the final shape. So a lot of this is just kind of proof of concept to see. I actually learned about that quote because a Titanfall 2 villain says that. Really? Well, actually, that original quote, if I'm not mistaken, is from Aliens 2. Good old movie with Sigourney Weaver and Bill Paxton. Probably the best of the Aliens movies, if you ask me. The first one, Alien, and Aliens, which is the second, is just... But, like, if you've ever played StarCraft, which is, well, pretty old now, but they stole... No, I've not been cheating on you, Beastie. I've just been... Sometimes, you know, you just got to be by yourself to bounce your ideas right. I'm like that at least. I tend to be a bit of a loner when I need to wrap my mind around a concept, right? But no other streams, no, this is it. I have not been infidel to you. But yeah, there's a lot. StarCraft 2 had some, like the Terran class. They stole so many, borrowed a lot of the lines from that movie. And there's like a shuttle pilot that like ferries crews to and from the ground to space, and her character is basically like copy paste character in the game, right? And so they took a lot of lines. I can't remember all of them, but like that one, like 5x5 in the pipe, that one is like taken straight from that. So if you've not seen Aliens 2, it's a damn good movie. It's a damn good movie, even if it's a bit old at this point. Yeah. So let's crack her open to see. So all of the universal storage parts are supposed to be Sigourney Weaver to vent me. Hey, whatever floats your boat, man. All of the USI, is that what it's called? Universal storage stuff is supposed to be compatible with RP0/Realism Warhol, which means we should be fair and square to use all of these. And interestingly, some of these have the capacity to... I don't want to do that. Central payload, crew transfer tunnel. So this guy right here is going to be super useful for building stuff like this is an experiment right here. So I don't have any kind of proper nodes unlocked, but I have to test it out. I haven't tested it out yet. So again, this is proof of concept. We'll see if it works. But basically, this is what this looks like. It's this guy, which you can stretch out, right, the height, and then just docking ports on either side. And then I basically went and did that like this. So underneath it looks kind of something like that. And I basically used some of the nodes on the side, and this is where I'm not sure if it's going to work, so we're going to have to try it out. But basically I used, so you can see that this node here is used up and that node here is used up. Like basically you would, at this level here, right, this guy and that guy, they're used up. And I attached these guys, surface attached to the sides. So we'll see if we can actually use this to move about and around. So what I'll do for now actually is we'll do that. I'll remove these because I'm going to get this guy, and we'll see if we can traverse from. This guy is, how did I connect this guy again? So I'll just do that. I want to make sure this guy connects on the right node. It's not going to be Skylab-ish, probably just because of what we're limited with. I don't know if you've seen, well, I mean, you probably saw what N9 did on the last For All Cobra Kind episode, where he had like that station where it was just kind of like, he actually used, I think it was this guy here, in series until he could get, like, you'd need, for the contract, you need up to 3 crew slots aboard. So I think he just like stacked 3 of these together and then used fairing components to make some sort of body around, and then he had like the S4 at the bottom with the 6 RL10s. So what I'm doing here is actually, he kind of beat me to the punch, but the idea had been sitting in my mind for some time to use something basically similar to that. And what I've done instead is I've done this, and I've already tested that you can transfer crew from the one to the next, which is great. Now what I want to see is what I want to do that he hasn't done, but I would basically like to have something where we'll have, let's just close this, it's a little easier to understand, but we'll have basically this same design that will be, you can just send the one up, and then if you want to have a bit of a larger station, you can send a larger one up. And an example of that would be, let me just get a picture up here for you guys. We could do something to that effect, right? So like, this isn't exactly it, but you would have the first module up, and then you'd have a central node where if you want to expand, you basically launch exactly the same thing or a slight derivative of it. And then you can slap it onto the next side and then onto the next side. And then you can have even a 4th one. And then ships that want to mate can do so, or to dock can do so at the tips, or even at the Z-axis ports up and down, right? So that's kind of the idea. And what I'm working on here with this guy is to see, could we have basically, something like that here. If we can't, then what that's going to mean is we'll be restricted to having just two station components, like something like that, like this here. So we would have one of the first modules, either this one or this one here would be the first to go up, and then we could launch a second one which would either mate at the bottom more than likely, and then we would just, that would basically kind of be it for now. Kind of a lot like what the Russians did with the salute stations at first. I think they had like 5 or 7 that were basically like slow progressions building up on top of one another, but they were basically just that, just like 2 modules docked to one another that got a little bit bigger over time. But so that's the idea that I'm going with, just because it's something that we can do now, and it's a fairly like lucrative contract. The advanced funds are like 2 million, so that's going to be super important to get. I should have gotten that like earlier, but I think there were some components that I had researched that I was waiting to unlock to make this doable. But basically, yeah, this is kind of the configuration that we'll be working on, and then we'll see. We'll see. So for now, I need to test basically if I'm in that node there. Say I start with this guy. Can I, with the way that I've attached this, transfer from this guy to this guy? That is what we have to figure out right now. So let me just get this stuff out of the way. Salute had those plans to expand using TKS, as far as I know. Leave behind the orbital module with docking adapter for the next one. Yeah, they had something like that. Like I knew the history a bit better than I kind of remember right now, but they had something similar to that, yeah. So we'll do this. We'll just call it test. And we'll make this the node, and we'll get rid of everything else. It's a tide. There we go. Okay. And we'll test this guy out as well. So we'll see if this works. I saw on Twitter that there's a launch tonight. Anybody know what's going up? There's a lot of stuff launching of late. Honestly, I've not been keeping track that much, but there's a lot of stuff going up of late. Let's see if this works. Big question is when SLS is going to go up. That's the big one. All right, where's our guy? Where is he? That's the one. Okay. So, can we transfer? Yes, we can. Hot diggity dog. Nice. So that works. That's good. That's really good. Very sleek. So that all works. That's pretty sweet, man. So we can basically build our own custom node like that. Nice. That's actually super good. Oops. Nice. This is perfect. This is great. I was afraid this might not work. I mean, it would have been a reduced station, but at least this is like we can make it bigger over time if we want to at some point. I'm still kind of peeved that after all this time, space stations still haven't received the kind of love that they deserve. I think needed in RP1. They're still so overwhelmingly pointless. There's a lot of potential, man, but there's still, yeah, there's a lot left untapped. I remember I had suggested on the Discord a lot of ideas that could be implemented, but I never remember or found out what ended up being retained or not. So this is the guy we want. Oh, also, we'll need to figure out a name for this thing as well. So if y'all got any ideas for names, by all means. You could put up a poll on the Discord or something at some point. Which side is my... Okay. I'm not sure where there is a double note there. Oh, yeah? Nice. I think what we'll do for us is we'll just basically... So what I was thinking about is if you want to do long duration missions, think of a multiplier where crews with experience are better at being in space than crews without experience, right? So like your time in space, your cumulative time in space acts as a multiplier, whereby, I don't know, if you want to do a 6-month long mission in space, you need to have accrued 2 months worth total of flight time, kind of thing, right? And I think what we do for this series is that we'll probably self-impose ourselves like a certain multiplier like that. So for anything that's like, I don't know, like 2-week long mission or something like that, we'll impose ourselves something to that effect where anything that's less than 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you could do without any experience, but then anything beyond that, you'll need experience. And so it'll give us a reason to use this thing and send crews up and down again. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about. Can't wait to see it fly. Note looks like it's using the probe and drogue. This is actually, and I'm not even sure what this is, but the D2 docking drogue. I'm not actually, you know what, now that you mention it, I'm actually not even sure if, can the Apollo CSM dock to this guy? Because this guy is supposed to be, hold on a minute. Where is it? That's Apollo Joe. That's fine. It will only work with Apollo Command Module Bro. Okay, but the question is this guy here. Capable crew transfer, useful for basic space stations, small probe. Apollo. It will only work with the Apollo docking drogue. Interesting. Is this due to limited R&D? Yeah, basically. Apollo D2 is a Soyuz style modular lunar craft. I think Chrysler's proposal, something like that. Yeah. It's you have it in here. It's certainly nowhere near as good looking as the Apollo one. So obviously that's Apollo, and where's that D2 one? This is the D2 one. General Electric. 61 proposed design. Yeah. Passed and over. Policy SM. Markedly similar to the later Soyuz in design. There you go. That's right. D2 propulsion module. Design capsule. Blah, blah. So very similar in performance to the Apollo. Same crew capacity, but obviously this guy is way better looking. Way better looking. This is lighter, but... So this is interesting. What's the unlock note for this guy? $61. That's what it says. 61. Where's the unlock? Unlock requirements. Lunar orbiter. I think it's the same one as this guy. Required mature capsules. Oh, it's different. Also, wait, maybe what this guy? Can I? What do I have right now? What? This part doesn't allow you. What do you mean it doesn't allow? Like you can't. There's no. What? I guess you have to go through the top, anyways. So this is interesting. We might actually. I mean, this is a super. It's just a weird coincidence considering Soviet design. I mean, maybe. Like, physics will only allow you so many possibilities in terms of like shape and that kind of stuff, right? So, okay. Interesting, minor kind of problem for now, but so you can only use Apollo with Apollo. You cannot use Apollo with D2, and you cannot use D2 with Apollo. So if we actually, because what we'll have to do this here, in order to basically use this guy as soon as possible, we are going to be launching a Gemini to it. And then basically using this ladder here, they'll EVA out, and that's going to be the first entry point to the station, right? So not unlike what you see, something like this. That was a proposed design. So it's kind of got the big Gemini thing going here, up here. And it's got the sort of mole access port. But underneath here is where it kind of gets interesting, right? So you basically park it, dock it, and then they'd EVA up and in to the station. Which is interesting. Given enough. I mean, kinda. Yeah, you're not wrong. Classic phrase used for the F4 Phantom. So, I guess one thing at a time. Let's just finish. What do we do with this guy, though? What I mean by that is, if at some point we want to be able to kind of bypass this system here where we're always having to EVA in and out of it and actually use docking, I mean, we are going to go with the Apollo, so it kind of makes sense to just forego the D2 and we'll go with the Apollo. It doesn't make sense to go with the D2. I thought going with an alternative could be kind of cool, could be kind of nice, but I don't think it's really... It doesn't make sense if we'll be going with Apollo. Given the use of Gemini, it sounds like Gemini mold. Never mind, you just showed the pics. Yeah, well, I mean, Mole was really like a spy thing, right? Manned Orbital Laboratory, I think is what it's called. That was an Air Force initiative. and it was for spying, and they basically figured that if they've got people bouncing around this thing when there's super sensitive optics that are trying to focus and gather picture and intelligence, it kind of defeats the purpose. So they kind of went, yeah, there's no advantage of having crew on these things when we could just have dedicated intelligence equipment. And so it was. And then a lot of those guys became shuttle astronauts. Notably, Bob Crippen, STS-1. So we'll just get this guy like this for now. We'll be unlocking this stuff very soon anyways. Shuttle mission. Yeah, yeah. Yep. There was a lot of that during the shuttle times, man. Yeah. Who else? There's another. There's a couple of really big names that were part of the Mold initiative. Crip is one. Crip was probably, I think, the most famous one. What's the name of that guy again? That really famous picture when he's in the EMU or IMU, and he's EVAing from the shuttle, and he's super far away. He had like 2 flights. What's it? Bruce McCandless. He was Capcom on 11. Docking would be sweet. No holes. Yeah, McCandless, that's it. That guy waited so long for his first flight, man. Bruce McCandless. But yeah, have you seen the Apollo 11 documentary that's on Netflix? I went to see it when it was in theaters, and it's super awesome. Like, the footage is just out of this world amazing. But you can see him a lot. Like, he was him and Charlie Duke, Apollo 16 were the 2 main Capcom guys on 11. Oh yeah, of course, but it's not. You don't write it like dinosaur, like the animal. Yeah, of course. This guy here, dynamic soaring, is what it was about. That's what the name was. But this guy here, yeah. Super interesting story with and I can't remember. I was trying to remember his name the other day. I read the biography on the guy. There's a book called, what is it called? Astronaut Maker. Book. The Astronaut Maker, I think is what it's called. Yeah, this. I don't know if any of you guys have read this, but this guy right here, he was an engineer. I cannot for the life of me remember what his damn name is. George Abbey. Yeah. But this guy was like super secretive. He was from the Dinosaur Project. He was one of the lead engineers on that project. And he categorically refused to be transferred to work for NASA. And he eventually was basically forced into it. And he ended up being one of like the super key figures in Apollo. Like right up to Gene Kranz. Like right next to these guys. Gene Kranz and Chris Kraft. And some of like the other really like George Mueller. George Mueller was like this guy was George Miller's favorite dude, and this guy was super smart, and he basically ran all of the crew selection during the shuttle era, and he was responsible for all the shuttle astronaut hirings and all this stuff. Anyways, really interesting stuff. But he was basically a castaway from the Dinosaur Project. Super interesting, really worth the read if you're into reading about space stuff and history and whatnot. Anyways, I met Chris Hadfield a really long time ago. Like, he was back from his first flight when he visited Mir on shuttle. I still have a picture of me and him then, and I'm like super. I'm like 13 or 14 years old, glasses and like buck tooth, and just, you know, that weird kind of phase you're in at that age. Cosmonaut Crash, the man himself. Don was dumb enough to bring up Challenger with Barbara Morgan. Who's Barbara Morgan? Oh snap, I should pick that book up for my dad. Mate, it's really good. It's really good. Really? He's got to be like close to 90? Dude, the guy was just a workaholic, man. What flagrant abuses of pursuit of fishing? We're making a custom docking port node for the space station we're working on. So using universal storage parts, you can get like a crew configuration, crew transfer tunnel. And I just basically used some of these nodes to, some of these side nodes here, attached to the other side nodes to make it like that. And it actually works, man. You can transfer from like one end to the other with this with crew. It's brilliant. It works. Ah, yeah. Okay, yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. She did fly afterwards, right? She was like on 1 or 2 flights. Yeah, incidentally, speaking of like Challenger, again, the Challenger disaster on Netflix, like a 6-part mini documentary, frigging amazing, man. Absolutely amazing. If you've not watched it, you must. Yes, simply must. This guy is on backwards. Why is that guy on backwards? Everybody lives in a fairing. Everybody lives in a fairing. Where's the node? Why is this guy? Wait, what? Why is... Oh, it's the same guy. Okay, it's the same one. There we go. Where's my... Where is the base for this guy? Huh? Ah, there it is. I just want to make sure that I'm not connecting the probe. I'm not 100% sure if these guys are crew passable. I think it would make sense. You'd think for a ring that it would allow that. But it doesn't. Payload mode enabled, decoupler bell. Yeah, see, it doesn't say if you can actually, if crew can pass. So I want to make sure that I'm not accidentally attaching this to that, and then that whole thing goes to shit. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You can't get rid of these widgets, or I don't know what you want to call those flanges or something, but yeah. Jack Schmidt, eh? Huh. Nice, mate. Isn't connected... Isn't connected living spaces, or at least the functionality of it, default to RP1 now? Because I don't remember actually like going out and getting it and installing it, if that's your question. I thought connecting my spaces was nice, but then I had trouble where single crew 2 somehow didn't count as passable. Well, that's lovely. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that functionality is native now to RP1. Not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure. we'll just put this guy back together and put it for safekeeping. But what I really want to work on right now is figuring out how I want this bottom part to work. A couple things that we still need to do. I still need to add RCS to the station. Nitrogen tanks for RCS because it's non-toxic. So right now there is a lot of wasted space here, but I figured what we'll do is we'll move these tanks up. These tanks basically have what is it? This is oxygen, food, water, and lithium hydroxide, and then this takes care of pressurizing the whole thing. So this is all living stuff. We've got no worries, man. It's good to have you. Lurk all you want. Lurk all you want. I may or may not keep this. We'll see. It's... Oh, wait. Ha! Forgot to do that. Got Gemini thrusters on here, and this will be used if we need to adjust orbit, however slightly or little we've got. So far, it'll probably give us about 150 to 200 meters per second, but I mean, we can always increase that if we need to. I still don't know why I've got this weird mirror finish on these things. Like, it looks like a visor. I have no idea why I have that, but I do. Evening, Beastie, Crash, and Calvin. Evening indeed. So what we'll do is we'll bring these guys up, because that makes more sense. Like that. This guy's going to go up. 2. 2. Install depth mask. Gets rid of the holes and parts. Install depth mask. But I mean, this should be... That's not supposed to be like that, though. Because this is... Like, the install I've got is all a part of the secant install. That's just not your... It's not just your install. I do find it strange, though. So it's actually like that? Like, it's... It just looks like this? Odd. Okay. So be it. We'll come back to that for now. Weird. Because the ones on N9's Gemini don't have that weird lens glare thing. I didn't notice it, at least, so I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I mean, it's not the end of the world. Are we using... No, we are not. We are not, because I don't believe there is a working version for RP1. At least not now. So that is that. And this is food. And then we can maybe use... Nope. Lens flare generator. I suppose it is, eh? That looks believable. How did I connect this guy now? We'll close this for now to get it out of the way. Looking for group. These guys basically here, same concept as this guy. I attached them to some of the nodes here because this is all crew passable, and basically this guy here as well. I need to get rid of that because that's no good. We have it's on crew transfer tunnel right now. We'll have to. Oh, scheiße. No, that's the one I built it on. That. Uh-oh. Which is the main node here? Uh-oh. Now I gotta figure out which one of these is the main one. It's gotta be this guy here. Yep. So we'll do that so that we can get rid of this. Not that. Where's it? That. I don't know. Oh, I know why. I am an idiot. So we'll lock the shape off of this guy. I was trying to remember why. I tried to figure out why there was like that double node here, but it's basically this guy from the fairing. And that's what I want to be. I want to be really careful with, is not connected to this, but this guy here, so that it's actually connected to this. Get it? Slot shape. Super important to lock the shape when you're doing the kind of shenanigans I do with fairings and stuff. It's looking promising. I'm glad this whole shebang here works. Super happy with that. Now to reconnect this guy. I just need to put this somewhere to kind of keep it for now. Shape that. Where is... What is that, straight? So the idea is that guy would be here, like that. And then we could have another one of these come in. The big thing here right now, the big kind of technical hurdle that we've got is the only solar panels that can actually work and that are hinged are some that do not rotate to keep with the sun, right? So we have to... The only thing we could do with this guy here, if we wanted to launch and dock another one, is keep the same kind of orientation, but rotate it 90 degrees so that the panels are this way, so that the ones don't obstruct with the other ones. So until we can get improved solar panels, we might be just stuck with these two modules, but we'll see. We'll see. Indeed. Indeed it do. Oh, really? I mean, I don't have it installed, but for some of the stuff that I would like to do, I will at some point need IR. But the problem with Infernal Robotics in that context is you're constantly manually having to do that. And I'm not sure if that can cause a problem when you're not at the station and it's just like running in the background, because Kerbalism basically tracks which satellites are taking in sun and recharging and which aren't. So I don't know how that dynamic there works, but if you've got hinged and rotating solar panels, then I think you're basically good to go. So this like that. Oh yeah, this guy. Gotta get rid of this guy. Gotta get rid of that one. It does hold your percentage as analytics. Okay. Okay. Seriously. Okay. Right now, as is, we'd have food for 45. Water for 63, 73, and 69. I think if we can get everything up to 60 days minimum, that should be good, just because it's going to allow us to have maybe one launch a month to resupply, depending on... I mean, this isn't too heavy. Ooh, that's kind of heavy. 240. That's about 320. 400 kilos. 500 kilos plus fuel. So our resupply craft could be about a ton, which our Atlas can very easily handle. It's a tactical advantage. That's the thing, like, I don't know how IR figures in the RP1 balance scheme, if it's supposed to be used. I kind of get the feeling that it's not, but who knows? Let me just relocate these guys. I can't see it. Same spot. Yeah, same height. Okay. Yeah, exactly, right. That's at the very least that. It takes the rule book, ties the rope to it, throws it up. Pretty much. Pretty much. Okay, so food is this guy. So let's get this guy. 48, 52, 60. No. There. So that's 60 days and a bit, which is good. Then we've got this guy's already at 69, so that's fine. Oxygen is fine. Water's already at 60. So everything is basically at a 60 minimum. And I think one resupply craft a month is really not going to overload the system at all. I think the Atlas is a pretty quick build, so that's not going to be a problem for us with the moon stuff. Obviously, we're trying to push for the moon as soon as possible, because I don't know if you've noticed the timeline, but I am the worst speedrunner at the game. Just abysmal. Abysmal performance. Just gonna bring this guy down a bit, get it out of the way. I mean, BC, like, the thing is, I think the way they're working at it is just that if people want a certain mod to be balanced and brought into the RP1 world that the RP1 people think would be a good idea to have, it's up to the mod developers of said mod to do the RO configs, because I think it's just like it's too much of a workload otherwise. So I know that you know, that being the case, and unless people bother to do it, then it's just not going to get done. And I mean, you can't blame them for that. So let's get some remove that. Do I have a leftover note that I can use? I think this guy's gonna be off of this guy. Yeah. But we can do this. We'll use this guy for the nitrogen tanks. And the reason why nitrogen is non-toxic is the way to go if you're you've got crew aboard. So we'll do that. And you use a lot of nitrogen when you're using it as for thrusters, like a lot. So that would probably be something that at some point we'll have to resupply as well. I'm still debating whether or not I like these kind of window ports. We'll see. I may or may not. It's an idea, like I'm again experimenting with a lot of the stuff here to see what works and what doesn't. But I was looking at some mirror pictures, and it's all these kind of small circular round ports that sort of look like something like that for windows. So I'm thinking maybe we could probably do something to that effect. So we'll have to bring these guys out a bit more. Not to mention, we should probably rotate 90 degrees. Because it would make more sense to not have stuff dock underneath, right underneath the solar panels or thereabouts. So we'll just rotate this guy like that. Yeah, it's true. There would be one balance point around the S4 on Apollo 7 with its motor hinged pedals. Well, I mean, even some of the probes, like Viking in early 70s, it had a robotic arm. Like some of the earlier stuff had really basic kind of mechanical arms, right? To scoop stuff, like the scoop regolith off the ground. So I mean, you could justify something like that, but yeah, like Canadarm was really a quantum leap in space robotics when that came out. That kind of set the tone for everything after that. Mm-hmm. What? Oh, really? Just shut. Does that look weird? Does it look like it belongs there? Main thing is I got to be careful to make sure that this isn't going to be obstructing the drogue. I find Nauka arm creepy, the way it can crawl around the station. I mean, Canadarm 2 does exactly that. Contained for now. For now. This guy would have to... Should we keep this guy? Like that? Obviously we'll fix the location of these guys there, but well, there's three things that Canadarm has. What do they call it? It's got this weird complex name. I had learned that when I interviewed for the Canadian Space Agency not too long ago. Oh my god, what is it called? ISS Canadian Robotic Parts. Let's just say that. Robotics. Mobile base system. Yeah. Hold on here. Hold on, let's see. Let's just do that. Search. Nope. But that was, yeah, there we go. So you've got, yeah, so to your point, what you're saying is this, right? So that's the mobile base that basically slides up and down port starboard on the main gantry. And then there's a bunch of like fixture points here on which either Dexter, like that robotic arm thing, or Canadarm 2 can latch onto. But both latching at effectors, the hands basically at the tips, at the ends of either ends of the Canadarm 2, they can latch onto like a bunch of these nodes that are all over the station, and it can basically like an inchworm move point to point all over the station. Like it can come and dock here, it can dock there, it can dock all over this place. Mobile base station can move it up and down, but it can kind of go all over the place. So unlike the Nauka one, it's a lot less constrained. So yeah. Sussy trust. Oh, shoot. So Canadarm can escape. Canadarm could escape. and take stuff with it, or people. Yeah, you could do that. Does this look weird? I feel like this looks kind of weird. What do you think? Does it look weird? Let me see. Good old mirror reference point. So that's basically, this is our weird kind of node. That's basically what it would sort of be like. But you can't. I mean, I could honestly just not even have that. Clang drive possibilities. I honestly could kind of just even get rid of these and just keep that one. What do we want to do here? We have to do this here. Because we'll have to start docking with the Gemini first before we can do anything else. I was planning on maybe launching this guy at a later time. Like as part of the next module, like an add-on to this station. And so it would just, this station would launch like this. So we could use both top and bottom nose. And in a way, I suppose we don't really need these guys at all if we're going to be doing this, which we know works. And we would actually have to do where are they coupling? Apollo. We actually have to put this guy here. Where's the one that looks like this instead of this one? Well. Hello indeed, dear friend. Mark, my friend. How's it going? Good to see you. Can and docking probe. Yes, so it's got both integrated. Okay. Yeah, we'd have to kind of do something like this, eh? Mellow it out, now it's just good. I mean, good is a pretty good way to end it. Yeah, I was just working from home today, building up some reports. Fun times. Sat next to my big ass window in my office at home, watched the rain. It's fun. Slow and mellow. Because so the thing I'm debating right now is if we launch this separately, big ass window in my office too. Big ass windows are the only way to go for an office. So if we launch without, we'll keep this configuration here, which will give us the thrusters that we want. Deploy. Can I deploy? There we go. Right? So we get to keep all of this, which makes sense to have the thrusters integrated here. Just got here. What kind of station are we talking about? What up, Phil? Trevor. I was gonna say what up, Mark, and I was like, no, wait, wrong. How's it going, Trevor? So far this is rough, not rough draft. There's still a lot of like fine detailing work to be done, but basically this is kind of the idea. Thick boy station. I mean, I think it's not as much as N9's was, but we both kind of, he beat me to the punch, but to be fair, I've had this kind of an idea brewing in my mind for many months right now. So technically he beat me to the punch, but really, did he though? Did he? So basically the idea would be to have this initial station launch. We can house up to 3 crew, and we can keep them without resupply for at least 60 days. So we can nail that first contract, which I think is just 30 days. So we can do that. And now the question that I'm debating is, we can either leave it like this and then have another module like this dock to it here, and then we'd basically have 2 of these. And since these solar panels do not rotate, they're only hinged, they can't rotate to stay facing to the sun. The second station module would basically be rotated 90 degrees, clockwise, counterclockwise, so that the panels are like this, so that they're not obstructed by this set of panels, right? But if we use something like this, which works, tested it out, works great, then we could have more station modules. Oh yeah? Headcanon did as a Centaur derived the station launched on Saturn. Here's what I think N9 was inspired by. I think N9 was inspired by this. He didn't have this that we know of, but this was built off of the base of a Saturn IV, right? 6 RL10s and Gemini docking at the nose, the 2 solar panels. So I don't know for sure, but I mean, if I had to take a guess, this is it. That was the inspiration. And to be fair, I mean, this is not the only, all of these here are Gemini concept stations that they had around. I used inspiration from this here for using the top node here, because we won't have Apollo quite yet, so we'll probably just send up a Gemini just to kind of get the contract done as soon as we can. And so the idea would be, dock and then EVA out, grab onto that, and then make your way into this hatch. And then the other hatches are in effect obstructed because they're technically sort of not there. But basically through this one, they can make their way up all the way down and even all the way up to here if something else is connected, which is perfect. It's exactly what we want it to be. I'd be curious to see that concept though. If you can post it on the Discord, I'd be much obliged. There's a lot of hitting nuggets out there, man. Like the 60s and 70s, man. that whole era, gold mine of hidden, lost concepts for space and aviation and aerospace and all that stuff. So back to this dilemma here. Here's the situation. Scenario number one, we launch like this. We launch without the node, and so we keep this basically thrust package on the station, and then we subsequently launch the node up, and then we'll need this guy to dock here. Scenario number one. I do have a Discord, yeah. I do have a Discord. Incidentally, if you know, there's that. I don't know why this is so small. Wait, is this sized correctly? It's not. Wait a minute. Hold up. Hold up. That is bizarre. I don't know why it's Why is it not? That's bizarre. Anyways, but yeah, you can find me on all of these guys here. Anyways, back to stream. So that's scenario number one. We launch without this guy, then we subsequently launch this guy, although I'm not sure. The biggest issue here, I would probably have to wait for Apollo to launch, because I don't know how I would get this to the station otherwise. So that's scenario number one. Scenario. Loving the triple mate. I know. I'm telling you, man. I had visions of these in my dreams for months now. Many months. Been waiting to do this for a long time. Just got to get the look right. Because if it's gonna fly right, it's got to look right. It's Calvin Maclure golden rule. It cannot be broken. It flies right if it looks right. It's how you're successful in life with space stuff on KSB. But yeah, this works great, man. You can stack these, and heck, you can put more than 3 if you want. There's even that other variant, which is crew capacity of 2. So, you know, for future modules, we can do the same thing, only double the capacity from 1 to 2. And we've got something going interesting without having quote-unquote official station parts. You can do the same thing with this guy. This guy's got a capacity for 3. So, you know, I mean, there's like, look at this guy. Like that, I'm definitely wanting at some point to do something like this. You know, like a couple of these stacked. And then that could, you know, you wrap it around with like fairings like this, and then you've got yourself like a big old nice module that you can launch up. Speaking of launching stuff up, back to this. So scenario number one, we launch without. Launch 2 comes later on with the command module, Apollo, and then we can use it to bring it to the station, dock it, and at the same time that could actually be, so my plan, spoilers, would be to so like the Apollo 7, when we have our very first, you know, command module up that we're ready to go and send out for that 3 crew contract and all that, typically that, you know, launching out of Saturn 1 and inside the Saturn 1 or Saturn S4 fairings, there was nothing, right? But we could put this guy here, a la Apollo Soyuz, and then use that mission as an excuse to also test out the CSM, blah, 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 but also bring this to the station and then dock it to it. Alternatively, scenario number 2 is we launch all of this together to that. But, and here's the catch, if we do that, it would render this thruster system on the station obsolete, because you'd basically be firing plumes on this whole thing, you know, toxic chemical fumes. So that's yeah, and I'm really debating whether these guys are useful at all, and I don't think that they are, to be honest. So I actually think we can get rid of these. What was I planning for this anyways? Yeah, we'll get rid of... Did we get rid of these? We'll get more of this. This is 3 meters. I don't know that he does any RO stuff though. That's the thing. Like, he's good at stock, but RO is just, it's another beast, man. Knock off Apollo telescope. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, that Skylab component there. It does kind of have a bit of a look for it. I'm not gonna lie. It's got that look a bit. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. So, do these windows make any sense at all? So I'm trying to basically go with... The inspiration was something like that. Right? That here. If I recall correctly, I think this is one. This was one of the windows. I think this is another window. I forget. Yeah, this is a window. You can see a dude here, actually. You can see a communist right here. That's the window cover. The wet workshop concept, well, the wet workshop was the S4B that they converted. Called for the ATM. You could use that. ATM to be built out of a lunar module. A lunar module? ATM being Apollo telescope mount to be built out of a lunar module. Really? Huh. Yeah, Jeremy. So that's kind of one of the things, right? That we have to. That I'm not there yet, but either like a Skylab-ish kind of fairing that just kind of covers the entire module, because we need to cover this guy for launch. So if we launch on a Saturn 1, this guy right now is at 10 tons. So 11 tons, so that's within our LEO capacities with that thing. I think it's about 15 tons right now because it's still got like the earlier H1s on it. But we can... My plan would basically be to put that on the Saturn 1. And if we can do that, we can basically just build one-off big fairings that will just cover the whole thing. We'll see. The descent stage would have been replaced with the Apollo telescope mount core. The descent stage would have been replaced, and instruments, and it would have been controlled from the ascent stage. Huh. Interesting. I did not know that. Interesting. I think it would make most sense to launch this separately on the Apollo 7 flight. I think that would make the most sense. And then we'll keep this configuration like that. And then this guy will come and it'll dock here. Or scenario 3 is when we launch another one of these modules. We replace this top portion with something like that, and then we just basically stack that on top, and then all of this together comes in and docks with the initial module that's already up there. Options, but I think that's going to make the most sense, to be honest. Yeah. And now, do we actually have any need for this guy? And I don't think we do. I don't see the need for it, so we'll get rid of that. Because if we leave him, what could we use him for? Yeah, I don't think we need this. I can't quite remember if I actually even had anything in mind. Wait, did you miss reading? You were gone? You left? You're not about to leave the stream. How long have you been gone? So we'll do that and get this guy back up. Uh-oh. I did. I got rid. Imbecile. I still have it here, though. Actually, you know what? Better idea still. We'll rebuild it. But theoretically, missed all the yeah, we had like 14 launches, man. It was great. Probably some of the best launches I've ever had. You missed a lot, man. Where is it? This guy. So we'll call this station. What do you call those? Multi-port docking? Docking node? Docking node? Multi-docking node? I don't know. Multi-docking node. We'll call it that for now. Official, unofficial name. That will lock. We'll lock this guy. We'll lock that guy. I gotta replace all of these with... Nope, nope, nope. Need this guy. Those cinematics, though. You can't spell Calvin without cinematics now, can you? The one thing we're going to have to be careful with when we start doing this station stuff is crew training, so that they can actually work and get into the station. Imagine like launching it, then launching crew, and then your crew's like, we're not able to get inside. We don't know how to work the handles. Nope, 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 coupling. So we need, where's it? We need that guy. Then we need, where's the Apollo one? Where's it? No, oh, this guy. Uh-oh. What? Why are there two? Yeah, oh my god, how do you say Calvinimatic Maclure? Wow. That's a tongue twister. Calvinimatic I mean, it's kind of, it rolls right off the tongue. Calvin-O-Matic, Maclure. Oh, yep. That's going to score you some internet points. Calvin-O-Matic, Maclure. Well done, Beastie. Well done. How heavy is this guy anyways? It's all about that lens flares. That's how you get a good cinematic. You just cram it with lens flares. Blow everybody's minds with lens flares. This is 1.6 tons. Not too bad. Gotta go bake a cake. What kind of cake we talking about here? And when can I have some? Back, Hila said, play now? Play? Now! This is all out of whack. It's not... This is too low. There we go. The cake is a lie. All right, so... we could potentially do something at the base here, just that this kind of, because it does it look funny though? I mean, we could leave it like that, I suppose. I'm just debating about the look of, see, this is like neat and tidy because it's like the same diameter more or less, but this guy here, but I guess that kind of looks neat. We could leave it like that, I think. Yeah, let's leave it like that. So we'll save this guy. We'll save this guy here for now. Do that. Station. Multi-docking node adapter. That sounds like a technical name. Multi-docking node adapter. Sounds like a real NASA name. LOS. Have you by any chance had a chance to watch for all? I have actually, yeah, I'm up to date. I'm enjoying it. It's good. I mean, like some of the storylines, like I don't like everything about it, but overall I'm enjoying it. Have you been watching it? The MDNA, yeah. That sounds like a proper, legit, believable acronym. So, I think it's a winner. I think it's a winner. So we don't need this guy anymore. But we do need this guy. Swiss Army node. So, in the final 15 minutes of the stream, well, we got some work done. I'm happy at least I was able to kind of wrap my head around what sort of configuration I want. So I like that. Are these guys gonna collide? Oh, that's what I need. That's what I need. RCS. Second watch? Really? Wow. I don't know if I like it to the extent that I'd watch it a second time. Like, the cool thing is that they bring about, you know, all the concepts that never really materialized, and we get to see if NASA had always had the Apollo funding, basically, right? Instead of it, like, losing it at the end, which is cool. The one thing that kind of irks me is that they always seem to make it, like, they always succeed at kind of everything they do. It's like it's too successful, but I mean, you need a story, right? Also, they kind of seem to, like, throw away their designs and stuff. Really, I don't know. Like, I thought the whole nuclear shuttle thing didn't make sense, and having shuttle go to the moon doesn't make sense. Like, just like, why have shuttle at the moon? Like, I didn't get that. Was the whole that whole thing was just kind of weird to me. Like, none of it makes sense. Obviously, we're space nerds, so like we know why it doesn't make sense. But what I thought, the Pathfinder thing was weird to me, just because not nuclear power. But it was just like they develop it. It's this latest and greatest thing, and then they use it, and then the season ends, and then it's just like nobody ever speaks about it again. Like, it stops being a thing, which was kind of weird. But the NASA Mars vehicle that I forget her name, but the black commander there, I forget what her name is, but that design actually is pretty legit. I actually really like the look of that design. So there's some interesting stuff in there for real. I think of all the space, sci-fi, semi-realistic, realistic series that have come and gone, this one is by far the best. The Expanse is just like it's something completely different, right? I mean, Invincible has a shuttle that goes to Mars. Oh, really? Shuttle go brrr. The space scenes are awesome. But that whole thing, that whole end of season where, like, they use Pathfinder to shoot down, and he decides to shoot down the Sea Dragon payload, like that whole thing was just kind of like I guess they tried to create a dramatic end to the season, and it just, yeah, I don't know. I thought it was kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie that I thought it was just kind of odd that they did that, but whatever. Do I have this guy unlocked? Do I have this guy unlocked? How big is this guy compared to... Oh, it's just a twin? How big? This is... That's 223 Newton class. And this is... smaller. I'm a bit of a history space nerd, and watching all the history and see where the little timeline changes are neat. Pathfinder shuttle had an issue between seasons that caused a halt on flights. There was a loss of a flight crew during mission that was caused by a loss of pressure. It grounded the fleet. And launching on the screen. Yeah. I think I missed something here. The whole fake out around the air-launched shuttle was stupid too. Yeah. Yeah, that also doesn't make sense. Like, just like, why would you do that? Like, obviously they're trying to go for a cool factor, but yeah, like, it just that. Yeah, it's a television show. We'll just leave it at that. I want my SRB plumes, damn you. Damn right. I want my ET and I want my bloody crackling firecracker SRBs. You bunch of pricks. So, how do we want these? We could we could do that. We'll do that. Wait, can I even buy these? Do I have unlock? What is it? Unlock requirements. RO restock plus. That's not tip required. Unlock parts still cost one. What? Can I? Why is there? By the way, I dug up the centaur mole I mentioned earlier and posted it. Nice, good. I'm gonna go check that out. There's a proposal during the 70s and 80s to air launch a shuttle for. Really? I just don't buy it. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, where's all the fuel for the engines, for the SSMEs, and like the same kind of shuttle with the stack and everything, or like something else that's also being called a shuttle? Because I think the Russians had, I think it's called Max. That was like a small shuttle, like Sierra Nevada's Dream Chaser, and it had its fuel tank forward of it, and that whole stack sat on top of a plane. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. How's it going, Kingslow? Got bad news, Kingslow. I'm going to be ending the stream in the not too distant future, because I gotta be a responsible adult, unfortunately. Modified space shuttles. We're wild anyways. I mean, I love my Shuttle C Max. Yeah, that's it. I'm 100% doing shuttle derivative launch vehicles in this series. Asymmetrical launch vehicles are just, that's my weak spot. That's my weak spot. How do you buy this thing? Yep, teardrop shaped tank. It was it was like weird and cool. From restock plus mod. Switchable cold gas motor engine. Where's nitrogen? Current config nitrogen. Yep. Good. Is this high pressure? This is high. Is it? Yeah, it's high pressure. Damn sneaky Saturn Fives. Always hiding around the corner like that. Bastards. I would like to continue with the design of this, but I just don't know if I can unlock it. Can I? So it's blocking me because of this guy. Hold on. Can I? Normally if you do this. Aha. Okay. What about now? Do that. Put this back on. Woo. What about now? Is it unlocked? What did it unlock? It unlocked 5 parts. I'm guessing this 1, 2, 3. I just missed the shuttle in general, man. Went to KC last month for Artemis, launched a temp, and at least got to mourn Atlantis. Buran greater than shuttle? I mean... if you want to be like that, sure, fine. But the only reason Buran was quote-unquote better is because it flew off of shuttle steam. Shuttle was the reason why Buran existed and was an improved version. This is from Universal Storage. This guy here, this guy here, and then this guy here. This is all Universal Storage, which has RO and RP1 configs. Shuttle C is the best period. Shuttle C is just golden, man. But yeah, no, like they did the right thing when they retired shuttle, for sure. No doubt about it. 100% safety rating. I mean, technically true. Contrarian 1, operational flight. Mir was just Detroit, but in space. Hey, Mir was a groundbreaking platform, man. A lot of lessons learned off of that one. A lot of lessons learned. It says... I'm not sure what... Hold on. I'm not sure what parts I supposedly unlocked. 5 parts were unlocked. But what 5 parts? Just want to see if it's going to update the infos. Oh yeah, but they did directly improve the design, which objectively makes it better indeed. Kind of scared that it was. Mir was awesome. Mir was a shit show at the end, though. Mir was really aging badly. Had a fire on board and everything, hydraulic fluid leaks inside the station. Like some dude almost was almost permanently blinded, like super intoxicated because refrigerant coolant leaked inside the station. Like that thing at the end was kind of a mess. People came very, very close to dying on Mir. Very, very close to dying on Mir. But so much of what Mir was, especially on the Russian side, obviously, lessons learned. I love the fact that this is so close, but like so perfect. To not actually hitting the quad. How fortunate. Yeah, a lot of the information, a lot of the design rationales and lessons learned from Mir went into ISS. Heck, all the Russian modules are basically Mir 2 modules. Yep, and he was on board when the Soviet Union fell. Probably the only dude ever to change nationalities while in space. Ah, good. It did unlock this guy. Sweet. Fantastic. Because I'm not getting... Can I... Whoopsie daisy. I did not mean to do that. Krikalev. Sergei Krikalev. I know the story, but I wasn't familiar with the dude's name. close this, retract. So the good thing is that, so these guys do that. Okay. These guys will give us both roll control, pitch, and yaw, which is exactly what we need. But the thrust is super low, so do we double stack? Probably not a bad idea. That looks a little weird. Let's see. Oh, you know what? You know what? Hey! We're more than alright. I was afraid I'd have to add a avionics module on here, but we good? I'm going to be honest and say that seeing an ISS style Skylab would have been awesome. YouTuber by the name of Kevin Gustafson. Yeah, I know that guy. He did a series titled International Skylab. Yeah, I don't offhand remember what International Skylab looks like, but yeah, they basically build a bunch of modules off of Skylab. Yeah. Oh yeah, the Russians come, they add their modules. I mean, that's the thing with space stations, is that they're super modular, right? So you can just always keep building onto them. Does this look weird with the double thrusters? I think we're gonna see. We'll simulate it in orbit right now, and we'll see how she flies with just the one set of thrusters, and then with the second set of thrusters, and we'll see what that's like. Gustafson isn't a KSP channel though, is he? Isn't he just like he builds stuff like 3D renders and makes movies out of them? Start in orbit. Let's go 200. 250. Back from baking cake. Calvin, no, that's not what, Calvinomatics. Calvinomatics. You've not missed a single cinematics. Calvinomatics. Yeah. That's it. You've not missed anything yet. But we'll see how this thing flies. How sluggish, slow, workable she is. He does KSP? He did alt history. Because there's one dude that keeps doing these kind of like short 5-minute-ish videos in like actual renders. Alright, let's get to unlocking controls. Let's get to the sun first. I can't see anything right now. Okay. So this is just one set. Obviously it's pretty slow, but we don't want it to be fast. And I want to keep... Nitrogen is not spilling out too slow. I think one set of quads is actually totally acceptable, to be honest. You don't really need it to be faster than this, to be honest. Yeah. Here's on the US really multi-station. Okay. It was his Mir series, so C15 video is my single favorite KSP video of all time. I'll have to go back and double check that guy. Yeah, one set of quads is totally sufficient. We'll get rid of the second one. Should it? Yes, but we don't have that tech node unlocked, so yeah. Jeremy, I think I know which one you're talking about, and I do believe I've seen it. Yeah, this is sufficient. It's not supposed to be a race car. Whoa, whoa, stop. Nope, wrong. My RP1 save right now is like 69. It's super late. We should be much further out, but, you know, we're not. Yeah, and we haven't used that much nitrogen either. Yeah, this is totally fine. All right. We'll call that successful and get out of here. Interstellar Quest. Don't know that I've seen his video. Maybe? Could be. How long ago did he do that? Don't forget to add the decals. Oh, of course. Don't forget the drip. What's that? What's the drip? 42 parts, not bad. What do you mean by the drip? Long time ago? No. About 100. Oh, yeah, that's going back. That's a ways ago. 160, yeah. 13-minute long, yeah. I mean, we really don't need much. Arguably, maybe we could use more than that. The late KSP Voyager documentary. Yeah, I remember seeing that. Ah, the swag of the style, of course. Of course. Alright. We'll wait for you to come back. I could always add a bit of fuel here off of this guy. 26. There, 217. Yeah, Justin, but that guy just kind of disappeared, eh? In the south? Okay, yeah. This is not going to fit. Hmm. Do we do it this way? Problem is, I'll have to shrink it to 2. Macy Dean also went MI. I've not heard of Macy Dean. No idea what kind of content is being made there. Obviously, I'm guessing KSP, but we could add. We could add. We could add. High pressure, and then we'll. Wait a minute, why is it not giving me the option for? Huh? Oh man, rip Missy Dean, one of the greats. Hope he's doing good. Yeah, still comes online on Discord. Goes by Wise Guy. Macy Dean. No idea. Anyways, let's see what we'll do. We'll keep this up. So next stream will probably be us finishing this up. There's still some minor work to be done here. To be honest, all your series makes me mean Winter Owl. Winter Owl rings a bell. Street Lamp Pro, Gone But Not Forgotten. To be honest, all your series came around at the perfect time, right when everyone was getting locked down for COVID. Yeah, 5V lockdown still has me haunted. Indeed, it does. That was once in a lifetime experience, I guess. Not every generation gets to experience. But yeah, next stream we'll probably work on this. I don't know. Like I'm not sure how interesting of a stream detailing is. But we'll see, because there's also a lunar rover that I've got to update and test. So that could be. Maybe I'll make a poll and then I'll have people vote to see what they want. To see stream. So we'll do that. We'll see. We'll see. But anyways, it's been cool to hang out once again. Thanks everyone for showing up. Really cool to hang out, and in the not too distant future we'll actually be able to start launching stuff finally. We had a bunch of builds that we had to finalize and that kind of stuff, and yeah, we're getting around to it. So anyways, be well everyone. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you around. I'm Campbell Maclure. Cheers.